I joined the Air Force 2 days after the Korean War started, and I was plowing corn. And these two guys I graduated from high school with came down there and said, "You want to go with us? We're going to join the Air Force." And I thought, let me put this mule up and and I'll go with you.
How old were you?
17. So I had to go and get my dad to sign. After we got our winter clothes, we flew to K-13, which was Suwon Air Base in Korea. And I was assigned to the 51st Fighter Interceptor Wing and the 16th Fighter Interceptor Squadron. And some of the members of that unit were Buzz Aldrin, John Glenn, Benjamin O. Davis, the first black general in the Air Force, 4-star. He went all the way through West Point. Nobody ever spoke a word to him. I can't remember exactly how many aces we had, but we were one of the only 2 F-86 units in Korea, which was had the airplanes. The F-86s were able to fight with the MiGs and not, you know, on equal terms. And one of the guys was a young second lieutenant that got shot up. When he realized he was, you know, wasn't going to make it back to the base, he kind of panicked, and he, you know, started asking, "Tell my mother that I love her. Tell my dad. Tell my sister." And somebody comes on the radio and says, "Quit your crying and die like a man." After 2 days, we listed him missing in action, and after 2 days, and they hadn't heard anything from the escape and evasion people, why they figured that, you know, he was probably dead, and we had to notify his family that he was killed in action. 30 years later, he came through over here to McGee-Tyson Air Base as a chief inspector with a SAC inspection team.
Jimmy Blair Harper, RA 14-492-505. I hate to say it, but when I was in jump school down Fort Benning, Georgia, that was the night they declared martial law, and we was over in the that city there, and they called us and they took us back and took us to the base, but they didn't court-martial us. But we'd slipped off, run downtown, and that's when they killed Attorney General that morning, and they declared martial law. And Phoenix City was, see, that's right next to the base. And that's how I can remember going through jump school. Marshals called us, but they just took us back to the base and let us out.
Now, Jim, what were you doing over there?
Just what everybody does. You gotta go see what's on the other side. I want to see the Korean Wall. So, guys I know. Jackie Doyle. He was a big old guy. And he used to live right down below when I went to Flanagan. And he'd always holler, "Little Harper." And he was a great big old guy, and he'd pick me up, put his arm around me, you know. And he went over, I don't think 6 months, he got killed in Korea. And Korea was a terrible war.
What do you think, Jim?
It's worth the trip.
There's no other experience like being in the military. There's no other shared brotherhood or camaraderie or experiences that you'll have. There's no other thing I can think of by being, besides being in the military. You know, my dad's going to be 80 at the end of October. Uncle Jim just turned 77. You know, the good Lord willing, they'll be around for many more years. But and you know, through my own military service, you know, to be able to share this experience with my father and uncle, who also happen to be veterans, you know, it's just a tremendous honor and a privilege. And I wish that, you know, my other uncles that had served, I wish I could, I wish they could go along with us. And, you know, maybe some of them, if they're ever eligible to go, then, you know, I'll be the first one to sign up.